Episode 2, round 2. Who'da thunk? So I'm going to talk a little bit about Detroit Become Human. Let's start with a little preface. I have not beaten Detroit Become Human. So that means there'll be no end spoilers, because I don't know the ending. Also, don't fucking spoil the ending for me. But I'm probably going to beat it within, like, the next... very soon. It's been an unhealthy day and a half. Let's start this with, I bought this sucker last night at like 11. I mean, oh, motherfucker, I knew I would think this game was cool as soon as it drops. I played it at PAX and I loved it. Saw the trailer for it like 4 years ago, and I thought it was like the coolest trailer of that E3. I mean, except for Zelda. But it was an incredibly intriguing game to begin with. But when you don't have $60 to be spending on a video game, you like to lie to yourself and tell yourself, you're not going to buy it, you're not going to buy it. Anyway, I bought it, played the shit out of it last night. Me and Jenny played the shit out of it last night. I got it at 11, played it till like 4 a.m., then slept briefly, then played it again all morning. And we're like 8.5 hours in. I totally cheat and then go back and redo stuff, which you're not supposed to do the first playthrough. Anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, the game is called Detroit Become Human. See, this is a scattered, unorganized, sloppy mess, and that's what it's going to continue to be. You just wait. Detroit Become Human. Pretty much, it is a cool-ass sci-fi robot game in futuristic, gentrified Detroit. And you play as 3 different AI beings, these robot artificial helper beings called let's go to the screen capture screen, called did they just call them androids? Yeah, they just call them androids. Fuck, I thought it was a cool name. That's fine. So you're pretty much play as 3 different androids. Let's go back to Chris' screen. Play as 3 different androids, 3 different storylines. It's sort of the way that the game progresses is you jump across these 3 storylines. So you first do the mission with Connor, who he's like this android that's built to help the police. So you're doing investigations. The first one, you're trying to stop a dude who's on the edge of his building holding this little girl who's gone deviant. The whole thing is that he's trying to stop these androids that have gone deviant, and he's like the most advanced model. Anyway, you jump from that one to the next storyline, which is Kara, who's like this mommy type who is super loving. She's got the most like mommy loving face you can imagine. And then android number 3, Andy the Third, is this little helper boy for a famous painter, and his name is the android's name is Marcus. So the 3 androids are Connor, Kara, and Marcus. And holy moly, are they well freaking written. The strongest part for me in this game is the writing. My man, let's go back to screen capture. My man David Cage is his name, right? My man David Cage, he's done Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. He's a Frenchman and a lovable one. Let me tell you, a real lovable one. He nailed it in terms of writing this game. He wrote and directed it, I believe. I didn't do any background check on this, so fact check me. Go ahead. But oh my gosh, the 3 characters are so distinct. Their stories are so varying in such a fun way. And the characters are just so lovable when they're supposed to be and hateable when they're supposed to be, of course. But the story is just so compelling. It is a good-ass sci-fi robot stuff. Again, let me start this off with I'm biased as fuck for robot stuff because I love sci-fi stuff, and I especially love robot stuff. I made a short film about robots talking to each other, and it went on and won awards or whatever. That's a shitty humble brag. But I really like robot stuff. And this is that. This is like the best of cool robot video game things that exist. And I loved it from that. The storyline is just so good so far. Again, I'm not done with it yet, but I'm going to play the shit out of it continuously this evening, and I'm sure I will continue to love it. But damn, the characters, the story, again, so good. They have these webs of events. The way it works is like you make these small decisions that result in other decisions, and it all branches off of each other, and then at the end of every mission, you see all the different strings that you did. So if you like choose to go to somebody's room and then choose to protect them instead of choose to run away with them, you can see where that goes on like the list of timeline. Let's see if I can look it up right here, right quick, just to show you, because I'm really bad at explaining things with my words. Detroit Become Human webs. I mean, that's not what they're called. The freaking of events. The screen. Oh, they're called something. I really thought that would work. These. Boom. that's not it. These are just the chapters. Anyway, it's pretty much a screen like that, but then it all branches off. I really thought it would come up and I could... These! Ha! Huh! Oh, so you see that you make like these little decisions, like my eyesight's terrible, but okay. It's opened to a full-scale review. This is a freaking mess what we got going on right here. But see, you make these decisions. I still can't read it. And one of these decisions, can you see my mouse, will lead to the next thing. So then you'll confront the deviant outside, and then you can negotiate him by making these things. And so if you say like one of these, so let's say this is saying something, then that'll result in these two options. Then you can say something else, and that'll result in these. Anyway, it just spans off. It's like a good Fallout mission in that regard. Like when you're playing Fallout New Vegas, and there's like all these strings of events that can happen. It's like the good part of that to the max. All the different things that can happen makes you want to go the fuck back and play them all again. I mean, I am so bad when it comes to like replaying games. I never want to. But this sucker, I legitimately already have, which apparently you're not supposed to do on your first playthrough. But motherfucker, I've been doing it because it makes you just want to when you screw something up or when you like somebody dies and you're like, that could not happen, and then you see at the end that it's like one of 5 big endings, and it's like, damn, let's go back and see what else we can make happen right there. So I'll be going back and playing the shit out of it again. I guarantee it. So I just love that. I love that option, and there's just so much like compelling reason to go back and do it all again. So that's great. That's great. And the cinematography, that was the other thing I was going to say that I freaking love. The cinematography is ridiculous in this game. The animation is absolutely ridiculous. They do the whole thing with the popping the dots on actors' faces. So the faces you see moving in the game with like the intense micro facial expressions are real actors doing that, and you can look them up afterwards, and it's awesome because you're like, wow, I'm 8.5 hours into this game and I love this digital fake character. Oh, what? That's a real person's face. I can go look up that real person's face too? Damn. So that's neat. I love when they do that. It's like LA Noire. But so the animations are ridiculous. The cinematography is so good. The graphics, it all looks amazing. And it's incredibly immersive. So on all those fronts, it's so great. I think the only thing that's stopping it from being... So the reviews are great, obviously. But the only hate I'm seeing is that the reason it's not a 10 out of 10 and it's more like an 8.8 to a 9 out of 10 is the whole the like playing a video game portion of playing this video game sometimes is a little tame. Sometimes it's like, oh, press L1 and then press R1 and then you got to move the right trigger in this specific pattern. Oh, but if you screw it up, you got to go back and do those micro tasks again. So it's pretty much like an interactive movie. But, I mean, that's kind of what I wanted it to be, so it's working out for me. But I get that people that are like, oh no, a real video game, you have to be doing everything. They can't give you story. If there's an opening cutscene for more than 3 minutes, then it's not a real video game. People are really fucking hard-headed about what makes a good video game these days. But this is exactly what I wanted Detroit Become Human to be. So I wanted to make this video talking about my love for it. I freaking love it. Oh, we need more cool sci-fi games, and especially more sci-fi robot games. This shit was badass, and I can't wait to beat it. And again, the characters are just so good, and I think the fact that I want to go replay it all again and explore and find all the little things and go through the paths differently makes it a good video game, according to me, but, I mean, what the fuck do I know? But, hey, get out there, buy it, drop the $60. I only regretted it for, like, 45 minutes of, oh, I didn't have this money, why did I buy this game, what am I doing, what the fuck am I doing? It is so good, and then you won't feel that for long. I've been following this sucker since the first E3 trailer, 2014, 2015, I don't know. But I remember when the first E3 trailer dropped, it was like, damn, that looks good. And boy, damn, it is good. And that's my rave, talking about how much I love this game. I do. I love it. Whew, that was a messy collection of thoughts. And I'll see you next time. So we did it. Woo, 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 woo. Anyway, be safe or whatever.